Hello, beautiful. I hate the pointless fear of appearing desperate, being too pushy or forward through text. And text doesn't help that in any way. It hides so many parts of our expression that, when we're younger, I remember being afraid of everything they say and what I say. Because, tone is very important, and over text, it's very difficult to identify that tone. And I think it's our problem. I think it's a us problem, because we should not be afraid of their tone. If they're unhappy, we should trust that they will be able to talk about it. And if they don't, then that simply reflects their immaturity and their fear of confrontation. Then if you sense anything wrong, you just step out and do the confrontation. But what I'm talking about here is, when you meet someone new or you feel like you have a connection with them, but you're too afraid to be straightforward about it because you could chase them away, and you're afraid to, show your interest in them. I hate the pointless drama. I hate the trivial fear of missing out, the loneliness and confusion in friendships. I once went out with a friend. We had dinner together, and then we went over to her place to talk. We both agreed that being afraid to appear desperate over text was pointless, and I was trying to convince her to, talk to this old friend she wanted to catch up with, but she was too afraid to. We discussed that one should not be afraid of being expressive and should not be afraid of texting someone out of the blue without fear of losing them or coming too forward. She agreed with me, and I was so happy to have somebody on my side for that. Although I'm pretty sure everybody sees some subset of this in the same way, it's just nice to have somebody to agree with. So since she agreed with me on that, I started texting her every time I felt like talking to her. And yep, you guessed it, within a week she kind of strayed away from me. I used to be involved in like a online friend group where we will play games together and act like we have very strong and good relationship with one another. I used my time and capacity to involve myself in all the relations between each person, trying to play my role as the mediator so I feel important, like a voluntary human resource. I spend so much time trying to fix people. It's like feeding myself disappointment, but it felt productive. I felt virtuous. I felt good, standing up for the right thing. And at the end, they will leave, they will betray, they will lie, and you'll be left with nothing. And that's because you expect something back for doing something for them. If you choose to do something for someone, you should never damn them to be reciprocative of whatever you have given them. Then you become the problem. You become the one who gives them more things to give back to. And then you become a burden. Nobody asks for your help. You give your help and you expect for something back. That is something I hated about myself. That is damning people. In no way is doing that good. If you expect something back, don't give to anyone then, because you're just damning them to have to give away something to repay your kindness. And it's fair that they betray you, because trying to fix everyone around you does not make you a friend. Trying to fix everyone means you assume that you make better decisions and you're superior in some way, in some moral high ground way, and every choice you make outmatches theirs. They have all reason to discard you. Don't let your time and capacity orient around other people. It's revolting, especially as a man. Have multiple options so you don't have to deal with the fear of loss constantly. People don't say what they want. People don't know what they want. Trust your own decisions, experience, ideals. Don't change the way you act. Don't change the way you make decisions because somebody tells you you are wrong. Of course, stay open to suggestion, but don't be so easily swayed because they could have an ulterior motive for trying to villainize your agenda. I felt pretty hurt and confused because of all this trivial drama and people leaving you so easily, people lying and betraying you so easily. Is life going to be just filled with trivial relationships where we can't be honest with one another? What the hell is the point of relationships if communication doesn't mean that both people would mean what they say? I think the best way to cope with this is to believe that there are good people out there, mentally healthy people who understand this and have gone through plenty of trivial drama, that are searching for something genuine, something authentic. They are searching for something of value. Those people have integrity, honesty, and they are not afraid to burden one another with self-gratification, even if it means chasing them away. We have to believe that there are good people out there that we can trust and love. Keep your eyes peeled and I think you'll see plenty of good people. But maybe we don't deserve them because we are still very angry and resentful and bitter because of all the people who have lied to us in the past, all those people who have abandoned us when we did something that culture rejects. If we hold on to this anger and we let it conduct our decisions in finding relationships, then we become not good enough for these people because we don't provide the same value, because we refuse to trust. We can never burden one another with self-gratification. Why would the good people pick people like us? That's why we can only make the right choices and fix ourselves. Unconditional love only comes from our parents and family members. I think, unfortunately, no matter how unidealistic it sounds, every other form of love and respect is conditional. So we have to turn to ourselves. We have to take full responsibility of our actions and choices for being unable to find good people. What can I change? That's easy. Become more sociable. Become less afraid of loss, so you're not afraid to be yourself around people. So you're not afraid to hurt their feelings, and you can perform in the way that your ideal self would. You can express yourself the way you want to, so you wouldn't be restricted from being the friend you want to be, from being honest. What can we change to meet these good people? Probably become skilled at the hobbies we are interested in, so we can provide value to these people. Because, for example, look at like movies and films and stuff. Good relationships often stem from the obsessive love of something, and then that gives us more opportunity because they can ask questions about it, they can ask for help, and we'll find more people that way. We cannot stay angry because those good people would understand that they need to prioritize their own welfare. So our mental health has to be intact, no matter how difficult that is. Pour work into ourselves, and then the good people will start to respect you. Pour your time and capacity not into fixing other people, but fixing yourself. You increase your own value. You become more grateful. You increase your self-esteem, and then you increase your opportunities. Don't be afraid of appearing desperate. I mean, you can't just instantly make the change. The change has to, in the most cringe way, come from within. You know, you have to change the mindset, change the self-esteem first before that will naturally come into place. It will come to a point where you genuinely don't even consider being desperate as a characteristic, because there is no point. When you build yourself up, you will have no need to feel desperate. You give generously to the extent you feel like giving. You don't have to consider all the boundaries you're gonna cross or how much to give where that makes you the perfect friend. You don't have to consider any of that anymore when you have built yourself up. And it would not ever come off as inauthentic, because it isn't. Sure, some people will come and go, but at a stage of high value, when you've poured in work into yourself, the options you have and the things you can fall back on are endless, and you won't have to be fearful again. We can find good people. We can find people that we can love and trust with our lives. We deserve it too. But first, we must get over ourselves. Sure, it is unfair that we weren't given the best handouts in life. Maybe some people do start off with great relationships and their own clique they can feel comfort in, and therefore that keeps them mentally healthy, and then they'll continue to find good relationships. Maybe they have better families. Maybe they are spawned into good opportunities. But hey, you want to give up cause of that? Or you want to trust that you can make better choices and better decisions out of the options you're given? Choices separate people. Choices separate people from the same place and propel them into different outcomes. Let's choose to love, and let's choose to trust. Choose to increase our value, to improve our situation one step at a time. Dig deep. What are you trying for? And hold on to that, and then make the choice. You want to give up or not? And then follow through. Let's find the people we deserve. To a better world.